Hello children, this video is for class 6 and this video is about Scratch programming. Now in last video we have already seen different components of Scratch, and in this video we are going to discuss and we are going to see different blocks which are available in Scratch. Now these blocks are based on different shapes. Now I have also used some of the videos to show you some video clips basically to show you how these blocks work. You also try it, but of course use your imagination. Now we are going to discuss different types of blocks. Now, these blocks are actually shown you according to the size of the blocks, the way how they are shaped. So we have 6 type of different blocks available in Scratch, and they are head block, stack block, boolean blocks, C blocks, report blocks, and cap blocks. Now we are going to discuss these blocks, and I will just use a script to show you what these blocks are. So the first block is hat block. So hat blocks, now if you can look at the blocks, they're shaped like a hat. So on top they look like a hat, and these are the blocks which we use at the beginning of the script. So when you write a code, a program, or script, you use these blocks right at the beginning. Okay, this makes them essential for making any projects. So most of the hat blocks, of course event blocks, you have these kind of blocks, hat blocks. Also control block will have one hat block, and you have hat blocks also in more blocks. There are total 11 hat blocks available in Scratch. So now I will just show you how to use some of the hat blocks in the video. Okay, now let's see how to use hat blocks. So this is my new file, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete the sprite which is already there, and I'm going to insert a new sprite. So let me look for a new sprite. And okay, this is my new sprite. Now also I'm going to change the backdrop of it. Okay, I'm just going to reduce the size and the backdrop. So here is my backdrop and my new sprite. And now let me use the hat blocks. So hat blocks are available in events. If you click on events, you see here these are the blocks which are hat blocks. They are kind of shaped like a hat on top. So these are basically blocks which we start at the beginning. Alright, so say suppose now I want my sprite to be moving. I will be using these hat blocks, so I can pick any one of this. So when this block which you can see, it is for a control. When the green flag clicked, then the sprite is going to move. So I'm going to use this, and then to move we go to motion, and I have picked here. Now as I click on the green flag, you can see my sprite moving. So it's 10 steps which I'm going to increase. So let me increase this steps. To 15 steps. And here it moves. So whenever I click the green flag, it will move. It will take 15 steps. So this is how we use. Now apart from the one which I have used, the head block, I can also use some other blocks which I will just try. So let me use this one. This is when space key is pressed. So So here in order to move the sprite, we will have to press the space key. So here right now I'm just pressing the space key and the sprite is moving. Alright, so this is how your hat blocks are used. Now also apart from events, in the control also we have one hat block here which we will be trying later as we learn about these blocks. Next block is the stack blocks. Now as the name suggests, stack, we can stack blocks above this block or below this block. Like the other hat block. Now if you look at the hat block, we cannot put any block above a hat block. So hat block will be the beginning of the script, whereas stack block, you can stack the blocks above or below it. Now a stack block is a rectangular block which is shaped to fit above and below the other blocks. Now if you look at the blocks, you will see that there is a provision which is made wherein the other blocks fit in. These blocks, actually in Scratch you have the majority of the blocks which are available, they are stack blocks, and stack blocks perform most of the main functions in the script. There are around 77 stack blocks in Scratch which are available. Okay, so now let's see how to use the stack blocks. Now we already have a bird here, so I'm just going to use some of the stack blocks. Now right now I have used one motion block, that is the blue one, which is also a stack block. So I will use some more so that I can stack it one below the other. So let's use another block which is looks. So in this we can change the look of the bird, the sprite, or we can make the sprite say something. So I'm going to use here say hello. You can change that hello to whatever you want. The next block what I'm going to use is changing of the color. So I will make my sprite change its color and also size. And then we have costumes. Like in last video I have shown you that every sprite we insert, we choose, they have different costumes. So here we have two costumes already available. These are basically used for motions when the movement is done. So I'm going to use the option called as next costume, so that it uses the next costume. Alright, so let's see how it looks. So the moment I press space, it will move 15 steps, it will say hello, and then it changes its color. So here I am going on pressing the space key and it is changing. And also now it has changed its size. The next block is C blocks. Now C block, why they are called as C blocks? Probably they look like, the shape is like C. Now if you look at the blocks which are shown here, there is a C-shaped mouth, okay, inside which you can add other blocks which are also shown there. So we use other blocks inside the C blocks. These blocks check if the condition is true. Also these blocks are loop, some of the blocks are loop blocks, and these blocks are available in control category. Alright, so now we are working with C blocks. So I will show you some of the C blocks which are available in control. So you look at this, repeat, forever, they are in the shape of C, and that's why they are called as C blocks. Let me use one of this forever. So what I'm going to do is I will just pick this up and just move it towards, and I want all of these to come inside the C block. So you can see right now I have forever, and what is going to be forever is all this move 15 steps, or say hello, change of the color, and the next costume. So this will loop for a while using the forever block. So let's see how it works. So I press the space key and there the bird goes. It's moving pretty fast. So I need to get it back. And now I will put another option here. I'm just going to add. I will slow it down by using this wait. So I can change the seconds. Here I'm just putting 0.3 seconds. So you can try the seconds and you can reduce its speed the way you want. So again I will try, press the space key, and so now you can see the bird is moving at a little slow pace. Alright, so now the next C block I will use is repeat. So here basically you have repeat, and next to repeat you have some number. So that means that it is going to repeat those many times. So here I am going to repeat for 5 times. So that means now let me press space. So it will just repeat its movement for 5 times and then it will stop on its own. Okay, so now I want to do some more changes to my sprite. So I will just customize my sprite a little bit. I'm kind of bored looking at it, so I will add something. Let's draw a fish. Okay, let me try drawing it. So I'm using some of the tools which are there in this paint. Like a fish. Here it goes. Okay, so my sprite is ready. Now the next costume, I'm going to draw it here as well. For the next costume, I can even use a duplicate one, but I will draw. So you guys have to try using the tools, and only then you will learn how to make your own sprite. So now again I will use it. So there my sprite is going with the fish right now. Alright, so this is how we use here is how we use the boolean blocks. But before we use a boolean block, I will make a small change to the backdrop. So I will take my backdrop and I'm just going to add something here. I will just add one block, a red color to the edge. Okay, so this is my backdrop. So actually what I'm planning to do is as my sprite touches this red edge, it has to stop and it has to go back to the start. All right, so let's see how to do it. So here I'm going to add the control again. I mean when space key is pressed. So this is the the control I'm giving it as forever, and in this now I'm going to use the if condition. That means it is going to check if the sprite touches the white edge, the red edge. So what I've done is, this is a boolean block which you can see. You can even look at its shape. So these all are boolean blocks, and put it inside here. So this is like a condition. So it is going to check this condition. If this condition is true, then probably it will stop and go back. Now for that, what we have to do is, we'll go back to motion and use this block. Now X and Y here, it shows the position. Now if you go right at this corner here, this, it shows you the position of X and Y. So from here you can make out where exactly the position of your sprite is, and accordingly you can give the position for your X and Y. So this is my position, what I want, and the same position I'm going to put in here. So what I have done here is, so when the space key is pressed, so as soon as you press the space key, what it will do is, it will check if your sprite is touching the red edge. Here is the condition, and if it touches, then it will go to this particular position. So let's see if it works. Here is the space, and here my sprite goes. Now as soon as it touches the edge, yeah, it goes back, and again it will come because we have put it in the forever block. Alright, now I'm going to give one more effect here. So for that I'm using again another block. So this is my block when space key is pressed, and now I'm going to use forever block, and I'm going to add a music. Now for that I had to go to sound block, and here I'm going to select a block. Okay, so let me add a background music kind of. So here, so I'm going to add this music, guitar chords, and okay. So when I'm going to play, I'm going to run the program, it will actually play the music. So let's see. So here, so I've selected it, and now I'm placing the block here. Alright, so yeah, it's working. So this is how we use this blocks. So basically this is used to add background music or background sound, whatever you want. And now you have seen, say suppose now I'm stopping the sprite, and then again I'm playing it. Okay, now my sprite actually moves from the place where I had stopped. But say suppose I want it to go right at the beginning and start from the beginning. So what I'm going to do here, a small change I have to do, that is I have to change the position of the sprite. That is, I'm going to change the X and Y position of the sprite, and I'm going to place it here. Alright, so the first thing what the sprite has to do as soon as this is the code is run, it has to go to this position. Even if you stop in between, the moment you are going to play it again, the sprite will go to this position and then it will start. Okay, so how do you get this position? You can place your sprite at the position wherever you want it, and then go back to the corner where it is displayed, and you can check the position and type the similar numbers. Okay, so now I will just see if it works. So I'm going to stop it in between, stop, and then again I'm going to start here. So it goes back to the position and it start all over again. All right, yeah, so this is how these different blocks work. You can try it out with your own sprite. Now these are the blocks which reports a value. It gives value to a particular variable. Now these can be anything. The value can be numbers or they can be strings. Unlike a stack block wherein you can change something on the stage, or you can play a sound, or you can stop the script, reporter blocks cannot be placed directly above or below any other block. Okay, next we have these are the last type of blocks there, that is cap blocks. Now just like how you have head blocks to start the script, we have a cap blocks to end the script. So these are the blocks basically used at the end. So after this you cannot use any blocks. They are placed, you cannot place any other block below this block.